Fight for Peace started in 2000. I've been living in Brazil for the last 10 years, and it started as a way of making contact with young people that were becoming increasingly involved in gun violence and gangs in the slums of Rio, in the favelas of Rio. I was a boxer as an amateur for about 8 years, and it seemed to me that a boxing club would be a good way of attracting kids that were getting involved in violence into a project. So we opened Fight for Peace in 2000. As a way of creating an interface between young people that were not being attracted to traditional social projects and youth workers. Boxing is important if you are in need of a direction, if you're in need of discipline, if you're in need of learning about kind of survival and stuff. I think boxing can be very useful for that. It certainly was for a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I've known through boxing, and also for me. It's very important that the young people on the project understand that as well as having rights as a citizen, you also have responsibilities. And boxing again is useful for that, because boxing is about no victims. If you train hard, it's just you and your adversary, you and your opponent, and so there's no excuses. You have to train, and that's very important because that's something that can be taken on from the boxing ring and into other parts of your life in terms of being responsible, in terms of working hard in order to be successful. We are hoping to set up Fight for Peace in Britain, in London, in the East End, within a year, by the end of 2007. Although much more extreme in Rio, many of the problems are very similar, I think, for young people that have become marginalised and for whom violence is encouraged as a social tool for recognition and for status. And that's very similar in many countries around the world. And what we're all about with Fight for Peace is that it's possible to be strong and peaceful. In fact, you can be strong through peace if you have enough self-knowledge. And I think that's what a lot of the project's about. So we hope to be having a Fight for Peace running here in the UK by 2007. I wanted to box from the time I was 13 or 14, but my mother wouldn't let me join the local club, so I had to wait until I moved away from home when I was 17 before I started training. And then I went to university at the age of 18, and I boxed for my university club. I won the British Universities Championships in '95, but really just a baby in terms of boxing. Absolutely. I think that being financially literate in today's society, almost anywhere in the world, is important if you're going to be responsible for advancing yourself within a family structure or even independently, and not getting into debt. And I think a lot of young people do get encouraged to get into debt, especially in the UK where credit cards are very accessible and so on. So I think that's very important. Yeah, I took out a student loan, and I think I bought a plane ticket with it. Whoops. I went to Nepal. You've got to be willing to fail. It doesn't matter if you fall over. The question is not how many times you fall over. Everyone falls over. The question is whether you pick yourself back up again and get on with it. Trust your instincts.